Hello, this is Ron from Autos and Gizmos with another DIY video to help elevate your driving experience. And in this video, I'll be installing these LED headlights on my 2009 Volkswagen Tiguan. If you've driven a modern car with LED headlights, you know just how brilliant their illumination can be. LED headlights produce a piercing light with a different color temperature than their halogen counterparts, allowing them to project light farther. And once you've tried LEDs, you'll never want to go back. When I drive the Tiguan at night, sometimes I think I don't have the headlights turned on because my eyes prefer to see white light. So today I have two pairs of LED headlights from Aliexpress to replace the main and dip beams, all for under $100. Just the perfect gift for your loved ones and in time for the holidays. I've got exclusive links and discount codes for everyone, so be sure to check them out in the description box of this video. So I have here the package from AliExpress. It comes with this plastic packaging, but I wish they would start using boxes so they're more environmentally friendly. But it comes this way, so let's open this thing. I ordered two items from different sellers and it arrived as one package, so which is good. Okay, so what do we have here? Let's start with this one. Oh no, the box is a bit crumpled, but hopefully the bulb itself is okay. So this is the Philips H7 Ultinon Essential G2 LED headlight bulb. That's quite a mouthful. This is Philips entry-level LED headlights, and I got this for around 40 Australian dollars. So it's quite a bargain when you compare this with the halogen equivalent and you factor in its lifespan. You save money in the long run. Okay, great, it's undamaged. I'm being very careful handling these LED headlights or any type of car headlights for that matter. This applies, of course, to halogens as well. It's important to avoid touching the metal parts of the bulbs. The oils from our fingers can cause hot spots and shorten the bulb's lifespan. So later during the installation, I'll be sure to wear clean gloves. So looking at the Essential G2 more closely, you can see it has 3 LED chips on each side, so a total of 6 for each bulb. Now compared to the old halogens, 6 might seem a lot, but compared to modern cars with matrix LED headlights, 6 is nothing. Matrix LED headlights can have up to thousands. So let's set that aside, and now let's open the second product. So this is the Philips H7 Ultinon Pro 3013, and as expected from the Philips Pro lineup, the packaging is more robust. The box is in much better shape than the Ultinon Essentials box was. The price is slightly higher though. I paid 53 Australian dollars for this. These two LED headlights have a very similar shape. As you can see in the side-by-side shot, they look almost identical. The base of the Pro is a bit taller though, but the stems have the same width. The Pro also appears to use more metal in its construction since there's a metal going all the way up to the diodes. This means better heat dissipation, so another plus for the Pro. One key difference according to the specs is the color temperature. The Pro version has a slightly lower color temperature of 6000 Kelvin, which will produce a whiter light, while the Essential G2 is 6500 Kelvin. The internal packaging also seems more durable. Again, I'm careful not to touch the metal parts of the bulb to prevent oil transfer. Remember, that can lead to overheating and premature failure. Now in terms of power consumption, both LED bulbs have a maximum power output of 20 watts with an operating voltage between 12 to 24 volts. Since the Tiguan runs on a 12-volt system, this means these LED bulbs will produce 1.67 amps of current and a resistance of 7.2 ohms. Now that's a difference factor of almost 3 times, so I think this will most likely trigger a CAN bus error. This is unfortunate, but makes for good future project for the channel. But for now, I can just ignore the error since this is a harmless warning indicator. I mean, I know that warning light is incorrect because I can see my headlights are working. You'll just be annoying because these errors will cycle through the central display, and if any other lights go out while these headlight warnings are on, I would not know right away until I read each message or if the cops pull me over. So now let's go ahead and get our hands dirty. Let's start with the removal process. This is a straightforward process, which is the same for all bulbs. We'll start with the main beam or the high beam. So we start off by removing this rubber cover from behind. Inside here, you'll see this black plastic tab. Grab it with your fingers and twist it in counterclockwise motion when looking at it through the opening here. You will hear the clip release, then carefully pull it out of the headlight assembly. Next, we need to remove the H7 bulb from the socket. If you're doing this for the first time, this will be very tight, so grab your preferred pry tool. In my case, I have a plastic pry tool and a pick tool, or you can even use a flathead screwdriver for this. But essentially, what you want to do is pry the base of the bulb, which is this portion right here, out of the base of the socket. So alternate doing this on each side until the bulb comes off the socket. Next, let's retrieve this metal bracket. So grab a pick tool or pry tool and then lift up these tabs on either side. And then pull the bracket off. Now this is where some of you might shy away from doing this DIY job because the mounting bracket on the Tiguan is slightly different from other cars. I needed to grind off the center piece of this metal bracket to create a larger opening so the stem of the LED lights can fit through. An alternative, of course, is to get a custom mounting bracket compatible with the Tiguan, and there are products out there. I think there's one that costs around $10 a pair. But good thing about my approach, which I'll show you later, is that even if I'm grinding off a piece of the OEM metal bracket, it's actually backwards compatible in case you want to refit the old halogen spec, so you can actually use it again. We're not totally destroying it. So looking at the metal bracket more closely, the thing that prevents you from using this OEM metal bracket is this extra metal bits in the middle, so this is what we need to grind off. I find that if I grind it all the way up to the middle of this hole, I'm able to insert the LED lights through, but also be careful not to grind off too much that you completely remove the hole. This hole helps align this metal bracket to the plastic tab earlier, so try to leave some of that hole when you grind it. So after about 5 minutes of grinding, I got that hole to the size I want, and if I insert the LED lights, it fits right through. Next, we need to remove this black plastic ring from the LED bulb by rotating it counterclockwise. Turn it until you can't turn it no more, and then pull it out. This is so we can put a small indentation here. Those indents will help the plastic ring stay in place as you twist the LED light into position. So to add the indents, I just use a small drill and add that indent on the 12 o'clock and the 6 o'clock positions. And now that it's done, this is all the prep work we need. So let's now go ahead and install the new LED lights on the Tiguan. Before I start assembling this, I'm going to give all components a good clean with an alcohol wipe to remove any contaminants that might have accumulated on the surface. So do the bulbs, the plastic rings, and finally the metal brackets as well. Once they're all clean, grab the plastic ring and the metal bracket and line them up like so. So the indent on the plastic ring should face the flat side of the metal bracket, and that small tab on the metal bracket should line up with the flat portion of the plastic ring. Hold this together, then grab the LED bulb with your other hand and point the wire in the 1 o'clock position, then insert the stem through the metal bracket. It should go all the way through until these two tabs touches the base. It's the 1 o'clock position because this will go on the left hand side headlight, and in that position I find that the wire does not get in the way of the internal components. So once it's through, start turning the bulb clockwise a couple of notches to tighten it. So what you're aiming for is to have the diodes perpendicular to these tabs here. Do the same process for all the remaining bulbs except when doing the pair for the right hand side. position the wire on the 7 o'clock position. We're now ready to install these LED bulbs back into the headlight assembly. I'm using these blue Ultinon Pro bulbs for the dip beams, so they'll go on the outer bulb position because those have the VW covers over the bulbs, so we don't see too much of the blue bulb directly. This means the Ultinon Essentials will go to the main beams or the inner bulbs. I'm going to demonstrate how to install the LED on the left-hand side dip beam, but the process will be the same for all. What you need to get started is a T20 Torx bit, preferably using a ratchet so the handle is angled because there's not a lot of room for your hand in there. So what you do is you loosen one of the screw where the metal bracket clamps into, because this will make installing the bulbs much easier. And you don't have to remove the screw, you just need to give it a few turns and that's it. Next, grab one of the LED bulbs. Since this is the left-hand side, grab the one with the 1 o'clock wire position. Then line up this metal tab with the bottom slot in the headlight housing and slowly insert it in. It helps if you look at the front of the headlight assembly to see where the bulb is going so you get good alignment. Once it's aligned, the clamp position in, tighten back the screw so the bulb doesn't move around. Once it's tight, we need to make sure the bulb is in the correct position, and to do that, we need to rotate the base of the LED into the clockwise direction until the stem of the bulb is completely vertical like so. Next, we need to connect this plug to give it power. This bulb has a polarity and there's a label near where the pins are, so take note of that. Now, using a multimeter, I've determined that the negative terminal is the one on the left, so I'm gonna make sure that the negative pin on the bulb is connected to the corresponding negative terminal on this connector. Finally, attach this rubber cover and this is done. All we have to do now is to install the rest of the bulbs using the same process. Once you have all the LED bulbs installed, and before driving this car out at night, make sure the beam patterns from the LED bulbs match the halogens. As what Uncle Ben would say, with great power comes great responsibility. The intensity of these LED bulbs are much greater than the halogen counterparts, so as a good LED citizen, we need to compare the beam patterns between the LEDs and the halogens, because these LEDs could be up to 5 times as powerful. So I've got them side by side here, and I'm just projecting the light straight onto the wall, which is roughly around 2 to 3 feet away. The one on top is from the halogens, the one at the bottom is from the LEDs, and as you can see, these LEDs produced an almost identical beam pattern as the halogens. Once again, this is the low beam. I'm really happy with that result. And this is the high beam. You can see there's a lot of beam scattering for both types of bulb. But since the beam patterns are very identical, I would say this is Uncle Ben approved. This is safe to go out on the road. With regards to the CAN module error, I can definitely confirm these LED bulbs trigger those errors. When you insert the key and turn it on the on position, you will see the high beams flicker a bit. An error will show up on the multifunction display, but it seems to only complain about the dip beams for a while. It's only when you turn on the high beams that's when the control module picks it up and displays it on the screen. I've been doing some research how to fix this issue, and there seems to be 2 ways to get around this. I don't know my preferred approach at this time, but I'm really keen to hear what others have done, and I'd appreciate if you can pop them in the comments down below. Would love to hear from you. And that's all I have for you in this video. Thanks for watching. If you find this video helpful, please don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to my channel. That motivates me to create more content like this. I appreciate you. As always, affiliate links to all the products and tools I used in this video are in the description box of the video, so go check them out and see you on the next one.